So I bought this chipper for 100 quid, literally 100 quid. I've just started ripping into it. So it's a MTD. It's down there, MTD, which is a German manufacturer, so I've learnt. And down there is a bunch of leaves, and beyond those leaves, I'm told some chains, a bit like a flail. So you feed your. I apparently it was what the guy who I bought it from, decent bloke, perfectly straight and all, said you shove your leafy stuff down here because the flails chains will flail it. I don't know, but he might have been saying it's chain fed from the engine. But here is feed your heavier stuff in, and then there are some. See that rusty plate there? That's a one of, well, that's the. There's 4 blades, 3 or 4 blades. He wasn't quite sure on there, and obviously here could bolt on a chute. So it was from a landscaping boy, sort of one of those chaps. We all know one of them who does a bit of everything. And he bought it, didn't really like it, dumped it at his mate's house, said look after it, and then a year later, we're here today. Mate said to his mate, just stick it on Marketplace, see what you can do. The fuel tank sits up here, bolts there, and that's its only support, and you can see some might have filled it a bit too full and it went out. With that job lot, you could say, came this, which is a sucker, and you go through there, and there's a fan turned by the Briggs & Stratton engine there, and that sucks up leaf or anything on concrete. It would be very handy for concrete, and puts it in this, and both this and the chipper, Blukey said, it turns over, it cranks. There is compression here. You know, it's nice and tight. I can feel that it's not loose. It's not been worn out. This is the fuel tank off the chipper. It's not very big, but it's all right. And that's where the fuel comes out. Unzips here. Comes through there. Collector, unzip it, out comes dust. There's a bit of a tear there, but coming back over here, my plan is to rip out all these plates here. This one, that's the exhaust cage. Take that out. Spark plug looks pretty decent actually. There's a little, it's hard to say. I don't think there's any corrosion on there at all, which is very good. Take this plate off, this plate off. Get a good look at the engine. See if I can get that going. And then if I can't, we'll sort something out. I've checked oil, it's a little bit low, but it's fine. And then I'll take these 2 plates off, have a look in the blades and how it all works. And as for the fuel tank, well, we've got this project. We like our red toolboxes. Red this, red go-kart. And this is another Briggs & Stratton. No, it's a Honda, but it's a decent fuel tank. So I'm going to nick that off that for the purposes of testing out this to see if we can get it going. And then a few hammers, an adjustable spanner, and we'll see what we got. Wheels up. He's a bit squidgy, but he's fine. And he's a bit softer, but he's fine. And also, of course, with that vacuum, once I've finished chipping, you just vacuum the area and it's all clean. And chip goes in, whatever, comes out here, which ain't ideal. There is a screen on there, which is quite handy. But it is just coming on the ground. So I'm going to try and buy a chute that makes it come up to about this level. I don't know, 5 foot 11, I'm 6'4", so yeah. And then that'll come up to about here, and it can go into a van, or it could go into a half-ton bag or a trailer or whatever it needs to be. So we've got 2 bolts here. They come out. In fact, I can get these are so handy. Magnetic plugs on there, and then it's magnetic itself, so I can stick all my bolts there and not lose them. Fucking ingenious, absolutely fucking ingenious. So we're taking bolt out, bolt out, bolt out, bolt out, bolt out, bolt out. Got one more bolt here, and then I've got this boy here, but the problem is he's been flicked up for whatever reason. So I'm gonna fucking whack this. Ow, fuck. Get this in and lever it out, or persuasively whack it out a bit. Right, so gonna take this off now. That's the fuel tank rests on. Take these 2 bolts out. Can take bolts. Take this off. Take that off. And then there's this plate come out. I think it might. Then whip this one off. Whip this plate off. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt. Holly a boy for the chip and work. So got the cover off, and that's the bit, the stand. So the 2 lower bolts, most of this is future reference, so when I come back to put it all together I know what the fuck I'm doing. Those 2 are for the bottom ones. They don't have washers. These 2 are the top ones, and they do have washers because they're holding in that to spread the load. It's cobwebby, but fundamentally, there's your boy. So, will this just pop off? Oh, there's more fucking bolts. 2 more. Oh joy. So it's a Allen key one, but I have to take this wheel off to get to the Allen key. So it is also a bolt. So go find meaty adjustable spanner. Where did I put the other one? There we are. This one's a bit better. Lovely. Right, I'll do this. Right, plate off. This boy, that little wire does the accelerator, I believe. Well, that's it finally off, because I had to just swivel it round and then take it out like that. And then these 2 bolts here were a bit. Well, I mean, like, how am I meant to get it in there? I can't get it in there because of that springy bit in the middle of the screen there. But that's the product inside. Another day. So, got the top cover off, which was a bit of a bore because this bolt here to get the exhaust pack off, so that I could get this cover off, because there was that bit was sitting like that, I couldn't get it up, and I haven't got a long enough socket to get this spark plug off. It's quite rattly, and that's what was inside of it. Just a bunch of rust, that's all it is. So it's quite a battle. Couldn't get it off with I basically rounded it with a fucking socket with this thing because it's so powerful. Got an adjustable on it, it's too buggered by then. and then there was a bit of this plate which sits there, sits like that to hold these two bolts together. I don't even know why. I don't know why it does, but there was no need for it to be like that, so I guess it's just so that don't over tight it. But if I've got something of that sort of thickness that I can just easily drill 2 holes into, I will, but there's not really much point in it, is it? So then I grinded the bolt off. Should have just grinded a slot into it like I've done there firstly, but I didn't, and then I've caused all this mess here and a bit of scorching on the exhaust. Not the exhaust, that bit, the bit after the carb. Then I finally drilled into there. This boy wouldn't get it off, kept on just not doing it. So then I went to drill that boy in. He just stalled and spat the fitting out, so then had to finish it off with my own bare hands and a bit of brute strength, if that even exists in my arms. And then that's the product. So yeah, all this sort of residue, it looks fresh, but it's because I just spray a load of WD-40 into it. Just did. Now I could take this off. Have a look at the pistons. I presume are in there, but I don't want to bugger the gasket. I can't be asked to do that, so I might just fire it up. Attach this. Take that petrol tank off there. Hopefully there's a fitting similar to that of this one there, and attach it to there, and just tuck the spark plug back on and see if it'll go. But first I'm gonna tear into this and see what's good there. So this thing's got bolts dung all the way down and under a bit, and then it's got a pin here without a clip and another pin there with a what's it, an R clip? Fuck knows. And then that comes off here. I presume it just lifts off, hopefully. And then there's this bit from the infill to the blades, and then this bit is the infill to the blades, so I'll take that off as well. What the fuck? Right. 2 pins. These are the bit that goes across there. And now, I don't see any reason why that shouldn't come apart. There's the screen. Which screens, so if there's chip that's too big, can't get through there, then sends it back through and it gets chipped a bit more. The only problem is if it comes through like that way, if it comes through this way, it's fine, it gets sent through, you get chipped again. If it comes through that way and it's just thin enough, and it's like that length, it comes through. That's why some people have another screen at back at that yard. So obviously you're going to be seeing this like real time, but this is taking me fucking lot, like 6:35. I started here about 20 to 5. A little bit of a time to just take that cover off and that bolt and this lot, but we'll get to it. Here's the So here, chip infill point through there, and that's my diameter that I can get through, basically. So, cut to this is where the magic happens. I don't know what Blakey was on about with chains. I think he means this lot, but clearly the knives are there. The main knives. I suppose these bits flail it, and then that, you know, chips it and lets it through. But you can see there, that's quite a small chip hole. Nothing's getting through there in a hurry, is it? So we've got some use. It's good. It's done something. All right. So I did get that on. It was all right. I forgot about the 2 bolts back there, so I was like, it wouldn't go in enough because these bolts weren't in to clamp that forward. So I was like, quite confused there. So this is where the old petrol tank sat, and obviously that's not really enough support. So I've just grinded these 2 bits of bar off that old sheep hurdle there, and then bolted. It's all pretty rustic and bush, but I don't know if the engine works yet because I haven't been able to start it because I haven't had a petrol tank on. So this is literally just to get a petrol tank on so I can start it. But to hold these in place, just to make it a little bit easier for myself, I grind another bit off that bar, and then there's 2 holes already that I've drilled already there, and then I'll stick it into there, 2 more bolts in, ding ding, nuts, and then tank on, fuel line somehow connect that up, and then I should be able to start it. And if all goes well, I'll whack everything else back on the back end, and then I've got shipping to do today, tomorrow, probably Saturday as well. Okay, shaggers. So I've just taken off. I tried to start it, nothing happened. I took the plug out under here, and there was nothing, just rust, no petrol at all. And I had put that fuel tank on there with the frame that I made up there, and petrol was coming through. The problem was it wasn't airtight, so I was just using a little cable tie. So I don't think that helped. So I just decided I'm going to take it all apart and see what happens. So that bit goes in there. This wire pull it out. Maybe I shouldn't pull it out actually. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, it goes from there and it goes down here, goes under this little bit to keep it back, and then it goes behind the fuel line, which is quite old, and then it comes here and it comes up and it goes into the bit where it clicks in on there. No, on the guard down there, somewhere around there.